king's kid. Yes, I'm a king's kid. My father is the king over everything. So I will sing this song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe. I'm a king's kid. Yes, I'm a king's kid. My father is the king over everything. So I will sing this song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe.
G'day there, King's Kids. Arnie here from Arnie's Shack. It is great to have you join us again, members of God's royal family. We are going to be looking today at some more of the life of Joseph. About how Joseph faced very difficult circumstances, but remained true to God. Our story is found in Genesis chapter 39. Anyway, let's get on with it.
I'm a king's kid. My father is the king over everything. So I will sing this song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe. I'm a king's kid. Yes, I'm a king's kid. My father is the king over everything. So I will sing the song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe. He gives me peace that passeth all understanding, the joy that overflows. Isn't it just totally amazing, the love that my father shows? I'm a king's kid. Yes, I'm a king's kid. My father is the king over everything. So I will sing this song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe. I'm a king's kid. Yes, I'm a king's kid. My father is the king over everything. So I will sing this song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe. So I will sing this song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe. So I will sing this song, cause I know that I belong to the king of the universe.
There's a problem with this cucumber. It seems to be growing in the middle of the wire. It really is stuck. I don't think I'm going to be able to pick this one. I think I might have to take some photos to show Grandpa.
Good afternoon, King's Kids. My name is Professor I.R. Weiss, and today I'm going to show you something amazing. My assistant Hans and I just love doing experiments. I had a look at our story today, which is about Joseph. Things had been going pretty badly for Joseph. All around him there were so many temptations to do the wrong thing, to make bad choices. He was away from home in a foreign land, but Joseph made the choice to follow God's way, no matter what. That made me think of an experiment I like to do. Hans, are you ready to do another experiment today? Very good. Let's get on with it then. There are a few things we will need for this experiment today. First of all, can you please bring a glass jar with a lid? Yes, that's right. Thank you, Hans. I also need a jug of water. Very good. Now we need a jug of oil. No, Hans, not a jug of soil. I need a jug of oil. Yes, much better. Thank you, Hans. Lastly, I need some food coloring. That's right, thank you, Hans. Can you please fill just under half the jar with water? Nice work, Hans. Now please add a few drops of food coloring and stir it into the water. Yes, that's right. Now, add the oil until the jar is about 3/4 full. Very good, thank you, Hans. Can you see what's happening, King's Kids? The oil and the water are not mixing together. The oil is on top and the water is underneath. Now put the lid on the jar and make sure it is tight. Now, Hans, give the jar a really good shake to mix the oil and the water together. That's right. Now, put the jar down and let's see what happens. Can you see that, King's Kids? The oil and the water are starting to separate. The oil is going back to the top and the water is going down to the bottom. The oil and the water will not stay mixed together no matter how hard you shake the jar. Instead, the oil slowly rises to the top of the water. This is because of the density of the two liquids. The oil is less dense than the water. As a result, the oil will rise to the top of the water. Reminds me of Joseph, and he stuck with God no matter how shaken up things became. He chose to follow and obey God. Well, thank you, Hans, for helping me with this experiment today. We will see you all next time.
Stand up, stand strong. Help me sing this song. I'm an adventurer and I do what's right. I'm gonna follow Jesus Christ. So what I choose to do is to make good choices too. As an adventurer for Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3, 4, stand up. Help me sing this song. I'm an adventurer and I do what's right. I'm gonna follow Jesus Christ. So what I choose to do is to make good choices too. As an adventurer for Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3, 4, stand up, stand strong. Help me sing this song. I'm an adventurer and I do what's right. I'm gonna follow Jesus Christ. So what I choose to do is to make good choices too. As an adventurer for Jesus Christ. As an adventurer for Jesus Christ. As an adventurer for Jesus Christ. Stand up, stand strong.
Hello, boys and girls. It's Granny Grace here again with another story from God's special book, the Bible. Remember Joseph, the boy who was sold to merchants by his brothers? Today we find out what happened next. Joseph and his captors finally arrived in Egypt after long weeks of trudging across the desert sands. As they came into a large arena, Joseph saw that it was a slave market, a place where people came to sell and buy slaves. A slave had to work for no pay. A slave had to do whatever he was told. Oh no, thought Joseph, I am going to be sold as a slave. Right there, he prayed in his heart. God of my father, my God, if I am to become a slave, help me to become the best slave I can be. Help me to act in ways that are pleasing to you. Soon it was Joseph's turn to be sold. He was strong and healthy. Potiphar, the captain of the king's guard, liked the look of Joseph. Come with me, he said, as he paid with some gold coins. Joseph followed Potiphar to his house. He did his work well, for God was with him. Soon Joseph was the head slave of Potiphar's household, for God was with him. One day, Potiphar's wife asked him to do something wrong, something bad, something that would anger Potiphar. Joseph remembered that God was with him. No, said Joseph, I cannot do this wicked thing. He ran out of the room. Joseph made a good choice. He made a God choice. But even though he chose well, things didn't end up so good for Joseph. You see, Potiphar's wife was angry with Joseph, so she complained about him to Potiphar. She told lies about him and said Joseph had attacked her. Potiphar was angry with Joseph. How dare you attack my wife, he asked. Guards, come and take Joseph. Throw him into jail. I can't trust him. Poor Joseph. He had tried to do what was right, and now he was in jail. Joseph sat in his prison cell. It was smelly. It was dark. It was lonely, but he was not alone. Joseph knew that God was with him. Joseph knew he had made the right choice. He determined that he would follow God's way and make right choices, even in prison. King's kids, what choices will you make this week? Will they be choices that honour God? I hope so.
Today's Bible verse comes from Revelations 3 verse 11. Hold on to what you have so that no one will take your crown.
Hey, Grandpa. What is it, Shane? I have some cucumbers here for you, from the garden. Thanks, Shane. They look nice. But while I was just out in the garden, I found a cucumber that I couldn't pick because it was stuck in the wire fence. Really? Yeah, it was growing in the middle of the wire. Have a look. I took a photo of it to show you. Will you look at that? It really is stuck. It grew the wrong way. Instead of hanging down, it went half on one side of the fence and half on the other. This is not a good place to be. I took a photo from the other side of the fence too. Yep, it is stuck all right. It is so stuck, Grandpa. I think it would need to be cut up to get it out of there. You are right, Shane. Back when it was young, it grew the wrong way. I took some photos of some of the other cucumbers out there, Grandpa. See if you think any of them will get stuck. That one is growing nice and straight on the ground, well away from the fence, so it should be okay. And that one looks like it needs to be careful. It is starting to head towards the other side of the fence. As it grows, it might get stuck too. That one's nice and straight. It should be okay. Those two cucumbers are growing well, Grandpa. Yes, they are, Shane. but that one might get stuck. You know, Shane, seeing these cucumbers reminds me of a very important lesson we can learn.
What's that, Grandpa?
The direction we take and the choices that we make have consequences. When it was still very small, that stuck cucumber did not stay on its own side of the fence. It chose to be half on one side and half on the other. And as it grew bigger and bigger, and it still remained half on each side of the fence, it got to the point where, as it was still growing, and the only place it could grow was around the wire where it was resting. Eventually, it was just totally stuck there. So we need to think carefully about the choices we make when we are young too.
You mean like one of the little cucumbers in the garden that is growing through the fence?
That's right, Shane. Choices have consequences. That little cucumber at the moment seems fine where it is, but as it gets bigger, if it doesn't change its direction, it will have a problem. You can't sit in the middle of the fence. You have to choose one side or the other.
So we need to make good choices when we are still little, Grandpa, so that when we grow bigger, we will be in the right place doing the right things and not get stuck.
That's right, Shane. Joseph in our story made good choices when he was young. To believe in, follow and trust God.
I see what you mean, Grandpa. I want to make good choices too. I don't want to get stuck in the wrong place, like the cucumber.
Shane, no matter what happens, God still loves you and wants the best for you. He's always ready to forgive and release you. But it's so much better if we make good choices in the first place.
Hi King's Kids, my name's Kyra. In our story today, Joseph experienced some pretty tough situations. In all of these situations, Joseph had to make choices. Today, we're going to make a mini plunk game you can play to remind you that there are consequences to your choices. The things you'll need are some straws, an old plastic bottle, some scissors, a marker, and some beads or marbles. First, make sure your container is dry and clean. Then, mark some dots where you would like to put your straws into the bottle. These need to crisscross through the bottle at different angles. Now you need to put the holes in it. You might need some help. Rob, can you please put some holes where the dots are? That's great, Rob. Now let's do the rest. Thanks, Rob. That's amazing. Now time to put the straws in. And now I can balance the beads on top so they shouldn't fall through. Now I can play the game. Take turns pulling out a straw. Remember that your choice will have consequences. Ah! So the next time you need to make a choice, ask God to help you make the right ones. Have fun making your own, King's Kids. Bye!
Hi King's Kids, welcome back to another Zoom Discovery Bible lesson. Let's see who's online. I see Shane and Andy. Hi guys!
Yeah, g'day, Jim. Yeah, hi, Jim.
Shane, could you please start with prayer?
Yeah, sure, I can do that. Let's pray. Dear God, please guide us. Thank you.
Today's verse is from Revelation 3:11. I read ahead and I have this crown here because I have some questions about it. Could you please read first, Andy?
I can do that, Jem. I am coming soon. Hold on to what you have so that no one will take your crown.
Thanks. Shane, could you please read from your grandma's Bible?
Yeah, I can do that. Here we go. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man can take thy crown.
Thanks a lot. I'll read mine. It says, I am coming soon. Hold on to what you have, then no one will take away your crown. Hey Shane, does that mean I have to wear a crown? Because I tried one on earlier and it was not very comfortable.
Jim, I think it's more of a symbol. The crown, I think it's talking about your place, your position in heaven, that you don't lose it if you hang on to your faith.
Oh, okay. I also have one more question. It says here, hold on to what you have, but God says in the Bible not to hold on to your earthly possessions. What does that mean?
Well, Jem, it's talking about your beliefs. And that's that you believe in God and you believe that you are one of His children and that He loves you and accepts you no matter what, and you want to give your life to Him. So you need to make sure that you hold on to that belief no matter what.
Okay, thanks. Because this did not feel very comfortable. Hey Shane, could you please read yours again? I really love that one.
Sure, I can do that. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown.
Thanks. I'm not going to give up on my spot in heaven. I'm going to hold on to what I believe. Andy, could you please finish with prayer?
I can do that, Jem. Dear God, thank you for your word. Help us to remember to hold on to you at all times so that one day we can have your crown on our head in heaven. Amen.
Amen.
Thanks for joining me today, King's Kids. Thanks, Shane and Andy. King's Kids, remember to hold on to your spot in heaven because I want to see you there. Bye.
See ya.
Great day. When temptation comes your way, you've got to stop and don't do it. You've got to stop and see right through it. You got to do what's right and don't do what's wrong. So when temptation comes along, you got to stop and don't do it. You've got to stop and see right through it.
You've got to stop. Don't do it. You've got to stop. See right through it.
Cruising along, having a great day. When temptation comes your way, you've got to stop and don't do it. You've got to stop and see right through it. You gotta do what's right and don't do what's wrong. So when temptation comes along, you gotta stop and don't do it. You gotta stop and see right through it.
You've gotta stop. Don't do it. You've gotta stop. See right through it. You've gotta stop. Don't do it. You've gotta stop. See right through it. You've gotta stop.
You gotta stop.
You've gotta stop.
You gotta stop.
You've gotta stop.
You gotta stop.
You've gotta stop.
You gotta stop. So, King's kids, when temptation comes your way, you've got to stop and don't do it. Stop and see right through it. In life, you will always be faced with many choices. When this happens, when you are tempted to do the wrong thing, think of Joseph. Even if things become very difficult for you, always choose what's right. Always choose God's way. As our Bible verse to remember this week says, hold on to what you have, so that no one will take your crown. Revelation 3:11. So stand up, stand strong, and always choose the right way. Sing the song we learnt this week. When faced with a temptation to do the wrong thing, you've got to stop and don't do it. You've got to stop and see right through it. Anyway, King's kids, it's time to go now. I will look forward to catching up with all of you again next time. So take care, stay safe, and God bless.
My Father is the King over everything. So I will sing the song, 'cause I know that I belong to the King of the universe. He gives me peace that passeth all understanding, a joy that overflows. Isn't it just totally amazing, the love that my Father shows? I'm a King's kid, yes, I'm a King's kid. My Father is the King over everything. So I will sing this song, 'cause I know that I belong to the King of the universe. I'm a King's kid, yes, I'm a King's kid. My Father is the